So guys, welcome back to another video and welcome to this Prime John Barnes player review. If you need to get your hands on some coins to improve your ultimate team, then check out the link in the description, igvault.com, and if you use the code Kieron at checkout, you'll get yourself a pretty nice discount. So this 89 rated icon actually just cost me just under 500k off the market, and yeah, certainly an interesting price tag for this card. Will he be worth it? We'll find out in this video. The card as a whole does actually look pretty solid. 4-star weak foot, 4-star skills, left footed coming off the left edge, but he's a winger that has decent pace and also stands at 6 foot. Now, it's just a thing in FIFA, tall players don't feel as good on the ball as the shorter, more mobile options, and even if this guy does have good dribbling stats, I'm expecting him not to feel too great on the ball, but hopefully I'm completely wrong with that. We'll find out when we get into the games, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. So in terms of player traits, we do have the finesse shot and flair, which is very nice, also outside the foot shot, and in terms of in-game stats, we do have some very nice notable attributes. His pace column looks very solid, shooting looks really nice as well, as does passing, and to be fair, dribbling looks really good too. 93 in-game dribbling rating, 90 composure, 92 ball control, and 85 agility. Looks very good on paper, but it's going to be a case of how do those stats feel in game, which obviously we'll find out when we get into the matches. Physically, this card looks outstanding for a wide man. Really good strength of 86 and high aggression of 82 as well, and pretty good stamina of 88. So hopefully he's a bit of a monster on the wing. Passing as a whole, like I say, looks very nice. Good crossing rating of 87, nice shot passing of 86, and the shooting for a winger looks pretty good too. 88 finishing, 86 shot power, and 89 long shots. So hopefully off that left foot we can score some really nice strike. In terms of a chem style for this card, with basic, as you can see, he does become a 92 rated winger and a 92 rated left mid. The most popular choice for him on Footbin is currently finisher. Let's see what that does to him. Actually does make him look like a very nice card, but if I'm being honest, I really feel like he needs the pace boost, because in this game pace is pretty important, and yeah, I think it is needed, but he also needs a boost on his dribbling too. So I'm actually thinking that if we're going to use him as a left attacking mid, an engine chem style might be the best option for him. Although his shooting doesn't get a boost from that, the rest of his stats do get nice boosts. So I'm thinking we go with engine. In the comments below, let me know what chem style you would use on him. Okay, in game one, we are coming up against this. He's got plenty of freeze items. He's got Nabry and Lala, and he's also got a bunch of special players in his back line, as I almost dropped my controller onto the floor. Anyway, let's get into this match. Back here to Barnes. Barnes, can he get through this gap? Oh, surely he's fouled there. Wait, really? That's not a foul? In chance. Barnes in a bit of space here. What's he going to do? Going to flick through the ball to Mbappe, who's now got a chance maybe to get a shot away. Does so with the finesse, but it's blocked. Spreads the ball out wide. John Barnes to chase up against Tavernier here. There is Mbappe who's getting free in the box. We find Mbappe, and Mbappe puts out the keeper. Got to be scoring that. Good delivery. Barnes inside. Space to shoot. Deflected, but Aouar might actually get a chance at this, and Aouar puts the header over, unfortunately. What a weird turn of events that was. The keeper should have claimed that, surely. Okay, it's half time, and literally just before the break we conceded, which is just typical of me in this year's game. I think the scoreline's also a bit harsh, but it's what it is. Hopefully we can turn it round. In the second half, we're going to play Barnes in a left forward role. Just want to get him a bit more central and hopefully try him out a bit more. Hopefully we can get him on the ball a bit more in that position. Actually, we'll keep it out there. So this is going to be our setup for the second 45. Hopefully it'll be more eventful than the first. Mendy back into the feet of Barnes, who's going to find Aouar, who in turn will find Mbappe, who shoots, and Alisson's made a great stop. Mbappe slides it through. Here's a chance for Barnes now. Fires across goal, and oh, what a save that is from Alisson. Mbappe, here's a chance. Links up with Barnes. The 1-2s, can he get to this here? Puts it across the box. Here's a chance for Mbappe, who eventually gets the goal. And we do, in the end, equalise. Nice assist for Barnes. Nice finish from Mbappe. Here's an interesting chance to break now. Aouar puts the ball through to John Barnes, who gets it. Oh, the pass there. How is that pass misplaced, really? Mendy in a bit of space, chips it through to John Barnes, tight angle, does not matter though, he pings it across the goal, gives us a 3-1 lead heading into the final 10 minutes, and that in theory should be game over. And after that, my opponent has decided to quit. Bit strange. I don't get why he'd quit with, you know, that little time left in the game. But we got the victory. Happy days. Okay, so in the next game, we are up against this. It's a really good team featuring a bunch of special items and a lot of objective players. The goalkeeper is probably the weaker link in this team, but the rest is very, very solid. And I never enjoy coming up against Player of the Month João Felix because he is incredible. So keeping him out would be a win in this game. Also, I've switched to old gen for this game because, yeah, it's obviously got the more recent patch on it. But, yeah, let's see how we get on. Barnes, this is probably one of our first chances to actually break. Zizurko hasn't got the legs, so we pull back. Get it to Barnes. Early ball into the box. Here's a chance. Oh, Adama gets there just in time. To the feet of Barnes, who's going to try and open up a gap for himself. But, unfortunately, the dribbling, the close control just isn't quite there with Barnes. John Barnes up against Jesus Navas now, who's a very, very quick player. We're going to try and get on the inside. We're going to do that. We've done well. Can we get the ball? Oh, I left it a bit too late for the pass there. And unfortunately, it's bounced off us and giving away the chance of a corner. Ball's whipped in. Chance. Barnes inside the box, and he's finished it as well on his weaker foot. That was some really intelligent positioning, to be fair, because initially he was like sprinting into the box. He sat back just on the edge. We found him with a great cross, and he's done really well to finish that. We've had very few chances in this first half. We've just took the ones we've had. Chest it down, right-footed finish. Love to see that. And literally, it was right before the whistle. So an absolutely brilliant time to score. And as you can see, it's just been one of them super tight games. My opponent's one of them players who just likes to keep the ball a lot. And we've had a lot of defending to do in our own half. And you can see that there. So yeah, hopefully we can keep this up for the second 45. Rashford into the back stick where John Barnes is. Unfortunately, misses the head. And it's going to go out for a throw. And just after we get ourselves a third goal in this match, my opponent decides to quit. So another fairly solid outing for Barnes. I have to say he hasn't really blown me away yet, but he's done alright in these games. Varane in this game, just ridiculously good. A 3-0 scoreline genuinely does seem quite harsh on my opponent. I did a lot of defending in that game, and Gomez and Varane were just outstanding for me. So yeah, there is that, but we were clinical on the counter, and that's ultimately what won us the game. Okay then, after a few more matches with this John Barnes in the starting 11, what are my thoughts on the card? Straight up, I think this item is usable, but is it a card that I recommend going out of your way for? No, it's not. And that's because compared to other wingers in the game, he's just not as good on the ball as them. So yeah, that's my main reason for choosing against this card. However, it does certainly have some notable positives, and we will cover them momentarily. But straight up, I don't think this card is good value for money, and I'd only advise getting this item if you're a big fan of John Barnes or the clubs that he has played for. And even then, to be honest, I just advise waiting for the Prime Icon Moments card. I know it's going to be, you know, a few months away, but still, that's probably worth doing because obviously it's going to be a bit of a better card. Anyway, let's discuss this card's performances. How was he in game? Well, let's begin with that dribbling, shall we? Now, I've put it in the negative column, but I'm not saying that it's, you know, terrible. I'm just saying that it's not as good as other, you know, top tier wingers, like wingers rated of a similar level to this card. He's just not as mobile, doesn't feel as easy to maneuver, and that can be a bit of an issue in this game, especially when the quote-unquote more meta players are very, very good at that this year. His ball control also wasn't as good as the in-game stats suggest, in my opinion. He's got a 92 ball control stat, and for me, his ball control just didn't feel that great. But anyway, let's move on to some positives, because there certainly are some notable ones for this card. The 4-star on the winger, I think is very useful, especially with him being left-footed on the left side. And actually, being left-footed on the left side can be beneficial too, because obviously he can cross very strongly off the stronger foot, and his crossing and deliveries in general are really, really good. So I was actually really happy with that area of this guy's game. His passing as a whole was pretty solid. There was a couple of misplaced passes here or there, but obviously that does indeed happen. But for the most part, I thought his distribution was pretty solid. So could you play this guy as a cam? You probably could, but I wouldn't say he's a master distributor, so I probably wouldn't put him there, but certainly is an option. In terms of shooting, was quite happy with this card. He's not like an elite top level finisher, but for a wide man, I think he's a pretty good one. I like the shot power, I like the long shots, and I also thought his finishing, whether it be left foot or right foot, was also up to a really nice standard. So I do think this guy could actually do a decent job as a striker. In terms of pace, he's one of them players who, you know, certainly is quick, but he's not super rapid. He can break away, but ultimately, if you're up against a Mendy, they're probably going to catch him up, or someone like a Kyle Walker, you know, the more meta fullbacks. But this guy does have a certain advantage. Not only does he have the ability to beat players for pace, but he's also got the strength to hold them off as well. Not all wingers can actually do that, so that's actually quite a nice, relatively unique positive for this card. But all in all, as I said, I think it's a decent card. I don't think it's a great one. I don't think it's a terrible one. I think it's a decent one. It's certainly usable, but in my opinion, there are just so many better wingers already available in the game. So because of that, I do not believe this card to be worth picking up. For example, you can pick up someone right now like Heung-min Son for less than 50k. So is this John Barnes worth 10 Heung-min Sons? No, he's not. And I know that math doesn't work out fully correctly, but you get the idea. I would rather have Son in my team than this John Barnes, to be honest, in FIFA 21, just because of how the gameplay works. So yeah, all in all, as I say, decent card, but ultimately not worth it in my opinion. Anyway guys, those are my thoughts on the Prime Icon John Barnes. Hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please do leave a like rating on it. In the comments below, let me know your thoughts on the item. Also let me know which other icons I should do a video on. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one.